Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is Enchanted, a Selesnya deck based on enchantments and tokens. The aim is to use our enchantments to overwhelm the opponent with tokens or large men. We have ways to make our token men bigger, as well as make multiple tokens over time. To keep enemy men in check, we have some removals, as well as a sweeper if things go bad. We have the tools to make a game of it against most decks. We have a pair of Ethereal Armor. It's an aura that we can use to pump one of our men to enormous proportions. With the majority of our deck being enchantments, this can easily give one of our men the stats to take down the opponent. Get Lost is a versatile pinpoint removal that we can use to snipe enemy men, planeswalkers, or even enchantments. It does give the opponent a pair of map tokens, which is why I tend to not use this removal all that often. The map tokens might give the opponent enough to recover or gain an advantage. Not on my watch is another removal. This one hits any attacker and makes them pack their bags. Where they're going, there is no coming back. I like this removal quite a bit since there are things in the current standard that don't like to stay dead, like Unstoppable Slasher and all the Glimmer Men. We're playing Cathartic Parting as a way to hit opposing enchantments or artifacts. It'll take the enemy permanent and shuffle it back in their deck. And sure, they might draw it again, but then they have to spend time in playing it out. By then, we hope to have increased our power on board. Innkeeper's talent is amazing. It'll turn even 1/1 men into decent-sized threats, and helps protect our men with counters on them already. At level 3, we get double the number of counters put on, and that can help accelerate the opponent's demise. Caretaker's talent is another power-packed enchantment. It gives us card draw, the ability to copy a token we already have, and at level 3 gives a big stat boost to our tokens. In combination with a token generator like Mirrex, we can draw cards and have a decent-sized body on board, even after a sweeper. 3 Blind Mice gives us a 1/1 token when it enters play, and then gives us a token copy of any token on the following 2 turns. And on the last chapter, we get a boost to all our men, and they gain vigilance as well. It's a great way to build up a token force and be able to go in for damages, bro. Calix, Guided by Fate, is a strong 3-drop that gives out +1/+1 counters when it enters and when we play out another enchantment. Lucky for us, most of our deck is enchantments, so we have plenty of pump to hand out. When Calix or any enchanted creature we control hits the opponent, we get to copy an enchantment we have in play. More talents? Sure, we can do that. More blind mice that make even more tokens? Yes, we can do that too. Or we can copy one of our overlords and get more of their enters play triggers. Sunfall is our sweeper. If we get off to a slow start and the opponent is rolling, we can use this to reel them in and reset the board to give us a chance to catch up. It doesn't matter if the enemy men are tapped or untapped, or they have indestructible or hexproof, this will eliminate all of them. The green Overlord is a bit of color fixing as well as ramp. As a bonus, we can use Caretaker's talent to copy the token land we generate to give ourselves an even bigger boost. Once it enters as a creature, it's a big body that can run the table while building up our mana when it attacks in. The white Overlord is another enchantment that makes a pair of 2/1 flying men when it enters and when it attacks. It's a great enchantment to copy with Calix, as we'll get the tokens right away. As a creature, it is a sizable body as well that can run the table. For lands, we're playing 3 Mirrex, the special land that can generate token men. 4 Fabled Passage, the land that we can sacrifice to fetch out any basic land from our deck. 4 Razorverge Thicket, the fast duel that enters tapped after turn 3. 4 Brushland, the pain duel in our colors, 3 Forest, and 6 Plains. Playing the deck is fairly straightforward. Build up in the early game, then start generating tokens. A Calix can help build up our early team and make a token very difficult to block. The talents are always amazing early and can give us enough of an advantage that we can pressure the opponent early to the end of the game. One thing to note, don't level up an Innkeeper's talent to level 3, then try playing out our Overlords with Impending. A level 3 Innkeeper is best saved when we know we can play out our big men for their full price. Keep opposing men under control with our removals, or go for the wipe if the opponent has dropped their men on board. Cathartic Parting will take care of any enchantments or artifacts the opponent plays out, while letting us recycle some of our removals or fallen men. Keeping the pressure up early and throughout the game can be key. We can often force the opponent to use up cards to defend themselves while we're still building up. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Ark the Lad. He likes comic books, old video games, and his tiny bone. We're kicking off with a 3-lander that's got a removal, a sweeper, a 3 blind mice, and an Innkeeper's talent. This is fine. Not great, but not bad either. Keep your pants on. We drew a 4th land, so we'll play out the Thicket. Had we not drawn a land, the Fabled Passage would have been the best land to play first. They're clearly on Angels, but they look to be the plain vanilla mono-white Angels. Not the way we do Angels, with lethality and chainsaws. We'll hold up our removal and see what else they've got coming. We aim to take as little damages as possible early, then hit them with Sunfall when they've dropped a good group of men down. They play out an invasion of Gobakhan and will likely snipe the removal or the Sunfall. Of the two, I think we can let them have the Sunfall. We'll play out the talent this turn and level it up. Depending on what they do, we could go with 3 blind mice or the white Overlord on our next turn. They drop a beefy 4/4 flyer. Why aren't more people playing Sigarda? That's an impressive list of abilities for only 4 mana. Sigarda pretty much forces us to go with the white Overlord this turn. We can't spend our turn making a 1/1 token. We need the flying men. They get the Angel Queen Bee, Giarda. Their big angel is already on board though, so that's what we'll worry about. They use the map tokens, and sure enough, their big chicken gets even bigger. Don't peck me, bro. They do come in for the peck, but we've got a guy to throw in front of it. Sure, we could take the hit, then pump one of our flyers, and have big enough blockers to trade later, but I have a plan. We'll play out Calix, and the pump will boost itself to a 3/3. And with their big chicken tapped, we can go in with our pumped-up token. For now, we'll hold off on playing the armor, but that's a key piece to turning this game around. They drop an exemplar, but they're missing a way to gain life. Or maybe we don't want to find out about that part. They send Sigarda at the invasion, which will get them a boost to their team at the end of each of their turns. It won't untap their men, so we still have a chance. It's time for 3 blind mice to come down. The token will be rather useless, but it's another enchantment in play, which counts towards the boost the armor will give. At this point, we have to wonder if they'll block or not. Angel players are not known for their blocking skills. Our token will get armored up and we'll send it in. block up, bro, or take a big hit. True to form, the Angel player does not block. Oopsie poopsie, bro. We'll make a copy of our white Overlord, and the token Overlord will make a pair of blockers. And we'll get another counter to add on. In trying to decide, the Angel player scoops it up. Get out of town, Charlie Brown. Also, GG's. This is Carbone the second. I would have liked to meet the first Carbone. We get a Shuffler special to start this one. We have a Get Lost, as well as 3 Blind Mice, a Calix, and a Green Overlord. All we need is a 3rd land early. Keep your hopes up. We do draw a 3rd land. We'll be able to make our plays on time. They get a creeper down, an unblockable guy that makes himself bigger over time. Let's play out the Green Overlord to get us up to 4 mana and closer to the 5 we need for Sunfall. We might end up needing it, or we might not, but best be prepared. They play out a blue Overlord, and that will give them some good card selection right away, but like any Overlord, it's not scary quite yet. We've got time. This turn will be a Calix turn, then we can follow up with removal on their creeper. They'll want to do something about Calix, or get some blockers, or this game could get out of hand quickly. They play out another creeper. This one could be destined to end up blocking, but I guess we'll see. They use the map tokens and get a land. Make that a pair of lands. Nice. We drew a white Overlord. I had been planning on making a bunch of copies of the green Overlord, but this is better. Let's get it down, then we can swing in and test their ability to see what we're up to. Incoming. Better block up, bro. Nope, damages, bro, damages. Not blocking is a fatal error. They finally see our plan and have to scoot on out of here. Smell you later, bro. GG's. Extra cheese. This is BR33ZY Blue 3. It's like they threw up on their keyboard and picked what didn't have puke on it. We get a 4-lander this time with double Caretaker's talent and a 3 Blind Mice. It's a slow hand, but if we're alive to draw, we'll be drawing. So far, so good. Turn 2 comes and goes, and the opponent hasn't bothered to play anything out. Thanks for slow rolling it, bro. You're giving us a chance. They play out a Lily. We'll have to toss a card, but then we can make Lily and her wide rear end disappear.
Knew this was a waste of time. Drop it.
We'll toss the 3 Blind Mice. If they're discard, then we'll be able to use the double Caretaker draw to our advantage. They make a lad token with their Mirrex. I guess they're not packing actual men in their deck. We'll play out the green Overlord for the ramp and draw from the talent. We can make another token land with the copy ability of the talent too for extra ramp. They play out a Conqueror, maybe they're on gain and drain. It wouldn't be a problem, but at the moment, we're choking on lands and have little in the way of ammo. We'll play out the second talent and make another token land. We're not even a ramp deck, but we're ramping like champs. A 3 blind mice is as good as it gets for the moment. That's unfortunate, but at least we can hold up the lad token. Or not. We are at the mercy of what we draw when we play out the 3 blind mice. Let's not draw a pair of lands. Well, okay, 1 removal will be fine. We can snipe their Conqueror, and that will be that problem dealt with. They go to snipe our token, but we'll hit their Conqueror as well. That 1 token won't be enough to take us down. Double Mirrex it is then, with their hand down to only 1 card. I like our chances. One token gets pumped and reveals a Sheoldred on top of their deck. As long as all we draw are lands, we're doomed. An Innkeeper's talent is all right. It's not a Sunfall or a Calix, but it'll have to do for now. We have enough mana, we can take it to level 3 right away. They play out Sheoldred, and that will deal with our Overlord. But if they flip her, we can use Cathartic Parting to take her out. We know they have a removal coming up and Calix will be toast, but we gotta do as much as we can. At least they are practically top decking at this point. That's a 7/7 token, boys. Not many men will want to tangle with that much beefy goodness. They send in Shieldred while their tokens remain spectators. What they should have done was sent the tokens in as well. We would have gone down to 1, and any token getting through would have been it. But they get to learn from their mistake. Luckily for us, we drew more lands. But one of those is a Mirrex, so we can use it to generate a token on the opponent's turn, and that is going to have to save the day. The Not on My Watch can deal with Shelly, and we can even use the Cathartic Parting to take out one of their tokens. However, if they have another removal, we're toast. No jam. They flip Shelly now, and that might be what saves the game for us. Sure, they get to snipe one of our tokens, and it might look like they could have the game won, but we've got a removal still, and we have a pair of draws coming up as well. And that's a pair of removals. Very nice. Now we do stand a chance. They send their men in. Let's start lining up removals to save our bacon. Cathartic Parting will send Shelly back in time to when she was just one of dozens of cards in their deck. Smell you later. We'll restock some of our critical cards back in our deck. Maybe we can stop drawing lands. We still have 4 in hand. We draw a Calix and a green Overlord. We'll play out Calix, but hold back with the green Overlord in case they have a sweeper. Let's not play out all our weapons. They play out a small Shelly, but what they need to do is play out another blocker, or it's GG's. Instead, they snipe a land. Opponents will opponent. Let's go ahead and snipe their Shelly and give them zero chance of surviving our next turn. Get gone, girl. We're about to win a game with 4 lands in hand. Sure, we drew a bunch, but we were drawing way too many lands. They're so mad they can't even find a land. Poor bro is having a meltdown over there. GG's, extra cheese. This is Hambo N.E., son of Rambo. No, wait, it's Ham M. Bone. He likes ham and cheese. Extra cheese. We get a 3-lander with an excellent mix of our core cards. I like it. Keep your pants on. They play out the life-gaining bunny. They know they're going to need all kinds of life to survive. We draw an Innkeeper's talent at the right time. Let's play it out. We'll be ready to pump any men we get in play. They drop a Heir Apparent. They're the killer bunny deck that's popped up everywhere. I'd really like to drop the green Overlord in and get some ramp going. But going with the Caretaker's talent lets us get our draw game going, and we might need that to keep up with an avalanche of rabbit men. Sure enough, there's another Heir Apparent. We can expect to see them from here until they knock us out. We'll go with the 3 blind mice this turn. I'd rather get the Overlord down, but token lands can't block. They add another pair of their signature card to the board. Can't be all that surprised, it's what they do. They send in their men, but the fact that they're willing to risk their key men makes me think they've got something up their sleeve. A revive, maybe? We'll eat their token and chump one of the hairs. This is hair-raising for sure. We draw a Sunfall, which is absolutely amazing against their deck. They've still got a pair of cards in hand, but those are likely more men. We'll play dumb and play out our green Overlord this turn, then we can follow it up with the other Innkeeper's talent. We didn't draw a sweeper, bro. You can play out the rest of your cards. They decide to swing in first. We'll block what we can to minimize damages, but this turn will hurt. There's the revive. They did that to get one guy back. Well, where they're going, they won't be coming back. So I guess use it while you can. Let's see how they block if we swing in. They've got only 1 hair left untapped and a small squad of tokens. I honestly was expecting them to take the damages, but they do block up. I don't want to kill off any hairs, so let's make sure the hair doesn't receive any damage. I guess we gotta take the auto-allocate off, and then we can make sure nothing ends up in the grave. Perfect, that's what we want to do. Bear witness to the fall of the Rabbit Kingdom. We'll get Calix down this turn and start prepping for beatings. They get one hair down, but one by itself is harmless. Only one card in hand, it's probably another revive. That's useless with 0 of their men in the grave. Level me up, and we'll fatten up our Calix. They still have a bloated life total, but we'll be able to take it right down quickly enough. We get to copy an enchantment with Calix, but which enchantment to copy? Another Caretaker, or maybe copy the Overlord? But a second Caretaker's will be more card draw. In the end, maybe a green Overlord would be best, more power on board, more beatings. And we draw another one, might as well bring him on down. That Sunfall ended up winning the game for us. GG's, bro. GG's. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.